Okay, so first part is uploading, 77 minutes, that's going to be fun. So this is the second part of my awesome rendition of 7 stages of grief. So depression, reflection and immense solitude. Well, that speaks for itself basically. So once you've got through with the anger and the negotiation and all that stuff, you kind of really, then it really hits you that okay, bye bye old life, hello new life, I don't want this life, it's a bloody nightmare. It's really too painful, I don't want to do this. And so it gets really, really depressing. At that stage in my process, my relationship went to hell in a handbasket at the same time, and in a very cruel way too. So that definitely didn't help. I'm not the only one. I know an enormous load of people lose their partner because they just can't deal with seeing the pain and the suffering. So they leave. Generally they find other excuses because it does seem a bit not very loving or caring to say I'm leaving you because you're in too much pain, I can't stand it, you know. So they end up making other excuses and giving other reasons. But the thing is that if you have a couple that survives a chronic illness, you've got a really, really good couple, because most of them just go. Anyway, so it does get worse before it gets better. So you're going to end up realizing that you're cancelling loads of stuff that you were going to do with friends, with family, whatever. Probably maybe you've stopped working because you just couldn't, the two weren't compatible. And if you're lucky enough to be in a country like Belgium, where if you're sick you get paid sick leave, you might not even be working, so you might not see anyone. At that time my twins were so my partner was gone. My twins were in boarding school, so they were only there the weekend. And I was living at the 4th floor with no, that's 5th floor for you American folks. 4th floor, no lift. And with the fibro in my Achilles heels and other places, I didn't go down the stairs very much unless it was really an emergency. So I had zero social life except Facebook. And there I'd like to say a special shout out to Carlito the Bandito in California, because he dragged me away from my second suicide attempt. He spent countless nights with me on Facebook, and if I'm here today, it's partly thanks to him. So kudos, guy, because you're in a much worse state than I am, and you're still there for others, so thanks. Anyway, so you're going to feel lost at this stage, even if you've got very supportive partner, children, family, colleagues, friends. You still feel lost because you wall yourself into this thing where my pain is locking me in, and I'm kind of gone introspective, if you like. I don't know if that's a word, because it's maybe half French, half English, I've got no idea. Well, you get the idea anyway. And you kind of condition yourself into thinking you're all alone, because you're the only one who can feel this pain. The people around you can only see you feeling it, but they can't feel it for themselves. You cancel, as I said, loads of stuff, so you're kind of staying home a lot, so you feel even more isolated. And at this stage, if you can come into contact with people who have the same illness as you, or a similar illness like MS, for example, or chronic fatigue, I mean, they're all kind of the same. Well, there's other things too. I'm not going to start naming them because there are too many. But specifically, if you can find people who have, if you have fibro or lupus or whatever, if you have the same, find people who have the same illness as you. Ideally people who've had it longer than you, so learn to manage it a bit better, and just talk. Just let it out, just vent, just say I'm fed up of this thing, I want to kill everyone, kill myself, this, that. Just let it out, let the anger out, let the stress out, let everything out. If you're speaking to someone who's got the same thing, they'll understand, they'll just let you vent, they won't take it personally. I mean, you can vent in my email if you want. I'm not promising I'll answer straight away, because if people start sharing these videos and I get tons of, I mean, there's only me, so I can't answer everyone. But there are communities, there are awesome communities on Facebook, there are websites, there are loads of things. Talk to people who are living the same experience as you, it really helps. At the time I was at a pain clinic, I wasn't with the rheumatologist I am now. She tried to sign me up for a group, and I said, oh no, the last thing I want to do, it's already all pervasive, all invasive, it's already taking up all the space in my life, in my mind, in my thoughts, in my everything. No way I'm going to go on, in addition, drag myself through the metro and go to the speaking groups and things. I just don't want to talk about it. She was right and I was wrong, I admit it, sorry doctor, but she didn't explain it to me properly. She didn't explain the why and the how and how it would help. I'm telling you, it really does help, and you really need to get out of this stage the fastest possible, because you're wasting time and you're suffering for nothing. So some people can manage depression on their own. I'm lucky enough to be able to do that. I had a really massive depression when I was, I don't know, 20 or something. And at that time I did take antidepressants, and I dragged myself out of it with the help of my lovely mummy, mostly. And since then I've managed to recognise the signs when it's really getting too bad, and I've developed mental mechanisms that help me drag myself out of it. Some people either don't have the life experience or don't have the knowledge, the know-how, the strength sometimes to sort it out on their own. Don't go to the lengths I went. Don't try and do yourself in. There is a life with this. It's not the same life as if it wasn't there, but there is a life. There are joys in life that you can find in even the smallest things. If you feel you're going under, go and see a shrink. Go and see forums of people who can help you. Take an antidepressant even for a short period if you don't like antidepressants. But don't stay on your own, don't isolate, don't let yourself fall. There is a way out. There is. It might not seem like it if I'm talking to you and you're just in that particular phase in the 7 stages, but it will get better. So hang in there. Once you manage to claw yourself out of that one, you're at stage 5, which is the first positive one. Yes, I can say positive things from time to time, don't worry. So stage 5 is like the kind of the start of a new start. How I can visualize it the best for you is maybe you've sunk down right to the bottom of the deep end of a swimming pool, which is my horror story, because that's one of my phobias, is drowning. Your feet touch the bottom and you'll just give the slightest little kick that starts you floating back up to the top. That's a bit what this phase is. It's kind of, you're not really accepting yet, but you're starting to face it better anyway, and dragging yourself out of this deep, dark, bottomless pit of despair and gloom, and seeing everything nothing worth living for. You know, you're starting to get out of it. You're going to be breathing soon. Hang in there. You can skip this phase if you want. You can go directly to phase 6, but it's in the phases, so you'll need to start somewhere. So once you've started, you've given your little kick to float back up to the surface, you'll have to start reconstruction. Reconstruction of your mental strength, your emotions, your organisation in life, your work, your family time, your whatever's left of your social life, says she who doesn't have one. You'll start slowly rebuilding and restructuring and reshaping. It can be a good time, a good thing at that time, I know it sounds really petty and materialistic and whatever, give yourself a change of look or something, cut your hair or change clothes if you can, because if you've stopped working financially it's the pit too, like it is here. But I mean, you know, change of style, change of hair colour, change of haircut, something, give yourself a new start, you know, mark it with something, it can really help. It is, I have scared myself sometimes because I dyed my hair or something and then I'd forgotten about it because of the fibro fog, and then the next day I'll see myself in the bathroom mirror and I get like a shock, like what the hell is that in my bathroom kind of thing. Yes, yes, and I can tell you a million of other things like that I do with fibro fog, thanks. And then you get to phase 7, which is finally acceptance and hope. Okay, you can, sorry for the swear words from time to time, but when I've got kids around I'm careful, but sometimes gosh just doesn't do it, so I'll do it my way. Okay, you bloody illness, you're here to stay, I can't get rid of you, I can't check you out, I'm going to have to learn to live with you. Okay, you can stay here because I don't have the choice, but you're not going to decide everything I'm doing. You're not destroying my life. You're here, okay, in a corner, but the rest of the time it's my life and I do what I want with it. Easier said than done, may I say. You're going to have to work a lot on it, and it's like you have to constantly work on yourself to catch yourself from being gloomy or moaning or thinking, oh, this really hurts too much. See, I've been moving my left arm for I don't know how many times since I've been talking to you. It's excruciating. Because for the past 6 or 7 weeks or something, I've got like, you know, those big screws that, what's his name? Frankenstein has in his head. I've got one right through here, it's red hot. And then I've got 2 here where my glasses go. So anyway, so I should stop moving actually, but you start then to realize that if you organize yourself differently, you can still do a lot of things you wanted to do or have to do or need to do, or you can still do it, you just have to do it differently. For example, I used to do marathon ironing, so I just pile up I'm not saying how many laundry baskets piled up before I finally got to it, but anyway, and then just say, all right, today's ironing, and iron all day until it was done, you know, except the 2 or 3 things you really hate ironing that you'll leave for next time, which always stay there, but whatever. Now I have to do it differently because I have to move and change positions and change movements every 10-15 minutes, which is why sleeping with someone who's got fibro is like sleeping with a needle or something, because, you know, by the time you've settled in a comfortable position, those pressure points hurt, so you have to move again, and it's terrible for someone who's sleeping with you. Luckily I've got my bed. The only person sleeping with me in my bed is my computer and you lot, so so you learn to do things differently. So for example, ironing, well, I'll iron 2-3 t-shirts or something, 5-10 minutes maximum, and then I'll go away and I'll wash 3 plates, or I'll get the broom and do the dog hairs off the stairs for the 500th time this day or whatever, and then I'll come back, iron 4 or 5 more things. Then I'll go and do something else, and because you're moving, you're changing movements every time, it's a lot easier to, it looks like you're kind of ADHD and can't do anything for more than 10 minutes, but at the end of the day you do get things done, and with a lot less suffering, but that's a whole new chapter anyway. So once you've accepted, then you can start working on finding your balance with therapy, physio, swimming, exercise, meds, no meds, shrink, no shrink. You can start finding your balance and starting to live with it, because then you're finally at peace with yourself, and this vicious circle of hate and anger and denial and rejection and isolation and all the rest is broken. So hang in there, The next subjects will probably be more fun, even though they're not really fun, because it's always talking about pain, anguish and stuff. But the 7 stages of grief, I really, really think that everybody who's diagnosed, in fact, I think I'm going to go and see the pain clinic that where I was before, and ask them to maybe give it to everyone they diagnose with a chronic illness or chronic pain, because I think it's really, really something that can really help. Understand yourself, understand what's happening to you mentally, because fibro is already very disconcerting, in as much as you can't trust what your body's telling you, but that's a whole other chapter. So you need to get your head together as best as possible, and don't forget, stress is a killer, so stay zen. Whether you've got small kids, or even worse if you've got teenagers, stay zen. Repeat to yourself this: I'm in my bubble, I'm in my bubble. Your stress will not permit, your stress will not hit me. Because you let the stress of other people, situations, whatever, hit you, you're done for the day, or 2 or 3 days. So let everyone keep their own stress. And you know, if you've got kids, you know how to do it. Selective hearing, you just don't hear them. Hang in there, things get better. See you soon.